traveling to consciousness, exploring spiritual journeys to find answers in uncertainty.
What is up, conscious monkeys? Welcome back to another episode of Traveling to Consciousness. As always, I'm your host, Clayton Cuteri. Today's podcast is going to be an IG Live, and we are going to be talking about body alignment. We're going to talk about why it is so important and why it is more important than you have been led to know. I'm going to jump into the live right now, so we're going to transition to that, and I will see you guys on the other side. So, welcome to the live. Today we are talking about the body, and we're going to talk about the importance of the body. We're going to talk about how if your body is out of sync, if your body is not in tune, then you are going to suffer spiritually because of it. And there is nothing that I have found to be more true in my life. We're going to talk about a little bit about my journey. And I'm going to start off right now, though, getting into giving you a little demonstration that will prove to you the power of this right off the bat. So take a second. Hopefully you're not driving or anything, but I want you to take a second and just essentially hunch your shoulders forward. And then I want you to kind of lean over and look at the ground. And I want you to take a second and feel the energies that are coming into your body. Make sure you're hunched over, you're facing the ground, your head is kind of between your shoulders. I want you to feel this. Okay, now that you've felt this, sit up tall or stand up tall, however you're listening to this. Put your shoulders back. Keep your eyes parallel with the horizon. And I want you to feel the difference in the energies. Can you feel it? Can you feel the difference of what energies are entering your body? Now, of course, this is a very simple thing that you can do. And what it's going to show you is the difference between what we did in the first stage, which was like a little bit of depression, sadness, maybe lack of self-worth, maybe you felt unconfident, versus whenever you sit back and you open up your body, you open up your diaphragm, confidence energies will start to enter your body. Your mind will start to open up. You'll feel empowered. So this can all be explained by simple science. There's really nothing crazy here that we're getting into. But really where the power comes into is when you realize that the different energies, you can experience it. You can explain it with science, sure, but this is a metaphysical podcast. This is a metaphysical conversation. So we're going to look at it from that perspective. Specific energies, specific thoughts are going to start entering your mind based on the way that your body is aligned in any given moment. You will just feel it. And what's crazy too is if you've ever done Western yoga, if you've ever gone into a yoga studio, you know that this is essentially what you're doing. Every single time you move, every posture that you move into is putting your body in a different alignment. It's reorganizing your atoms in a specific way that is inviting in different energies into your body. For example, now, I'm not an expert in this. I have a lot more to learn in regards to, let's say, body posture yoga. But I can tell you for sure that you do certain methods, certain positions, and they will either create energies or they'll destroy energies. Now, which ones they do is a little bit beyond the scope of this podcast right here, because where we want to start off with, where I want to start off with is my journey and some of the misconceptions that I had regarding health. Because if we take a step back and even look at what we were taught in high school, it was nothing. I can tell you personally firsthand that I learned absolutely nothing in health class. I learned nothing in my sexual education classes. I remember coming in and they would always put on Remember the Titans or Coach Carter, some sports movie. I thought it was great. Don't get me wrong. I loved it as a high school student. But as a college student, I realized the education that was being robbed from me and not understanding the importance of these things. And where it led to in my journey, whenever I entered college, was almost more of a superficial alignment. I wanted to look good in the mirror. I wanted to make sure that I had low body fat. I had big muscles. And don't get me wrong, this brings confidence with it. But it's about the intention of why you're doing it. That's what's really going to motivate you and get you to that next level. Because if you have a small, shallow motivation, don't get me wrong, it will work. You will get the body you desire. But it's only going to take you so far. You're going to get that thing from the body that you desired, and then you're going to realize that it wasn't the ultimate thing you were looking for. You'll realize that you were chasing your appearance. Maybe you were chasing the mirror. And you'll come to realize that it wasn't the pinnacle of reality. It wasn't the pinnacle of what you were looking for. Again, this is important and it has its own benefits, but my personal anecdote where I came away from this was that there was more to life. There was more than spending 5 hours in a gym, 2 hours meal prepping, counting every single macro I put into my body. Don't get me wrong. If you enjoy that, do it. I'm not knocking it whatsoever. Do what lights your soul on fire, 100%. I'm just offering that there is a higher approach to what we could do with our bodies. And in order for us to achieve those higher things, we need to realize that our body is the foundational piece, the shell, if you will, which feels a little surface level, but it's a foundational piece. It's a surface level for our soul, for our spirit. It's what keeps us grounded in this physical 3D reality. So if you're one of those people who sits around and says that, oh, I'm a 3-dimensional, 5-dimensional being and I need to elevate out of this consciousness, you have to remember and keep in alignment that your body is very important still, because it's the transportation vehicle that's going to get you to where you're trying to go. If your ultimate goal, and I guess we're kind of cutting to the chase here, my ultimate goal is enlightenment, becoming an enlightened individual. Now, if my body is out of alignment and out of whack, my soul is never going to be able to get to the destination. It's like if you have a car and the wheels are breaking or the wheels are falling off, you have the engine breaking, you have a muffler that won't work right, you're not going to be able to get to your destination. So it's important to take into account the alignment that you're feeling within yourself, within your body. Now, where I got into my story, if we're going backwards a little bit, is the stress that I was putting on my body. Now, stress is good. There's a certain way and a certain time for stress. But you can get to a point where there's unnecessary stress that you're inviting into your body. And again, if this is your goal in life, go for it. Do it. I think bodybuilding is extremely difficult, and all kudos to you. It will show you the psychological torment that you can put on yourself. And there's utility in that, but my point here is that you need to find the balance in your life of how much physical stress you can endure and then how much you can get done in your other day in life with your other things in life. If your goal specifically is to become a bodybuilder, all power to you. But for 99% of the population, that is not the intention that they're going into the gym with. You're going into the gym to clear your mind, to burn energies. There are techniques to burn energies, ways to align yourself with your ultimate goal, with your purpose, with your divinity, if you will. And there's nutrition as well. Now, I can't get into all of this within a 20-minute podcast or a 20-minute live, which is why I am actually putting together a digital course. And I was actually working on the website earlier today. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Make sure you are signed up with the newsletter and the email list so that you can get notified whenever that occurs. You can find it in the link tree or you can find it in my bio. So the key with all of this, though, is just not neglecting your physical health. You have to realize that it's important. And I think a huge disservice has been done to the majority of us in regards to our education system. I knew absolutely nothing about health or fitness or food at all. And I had to teach myself it once I got to college. And there's definitely a component of this of needing to empower yourself to figure this out, to find it out on your own. And there's tons of trial and error you can do online to figure out what exactly is going to work for you. For me personally, it's been a journey. Honestly, let's see here. If I was in college, it would have probably been over 12 years of experiencing weightlifting, diet, exercise, what works for me. And based on your goals, it's going to differ. It's going to change. And what I can offer, and I think what is the best thing to offer, is to realize that the energies that you're putting into your body from food are going to manifest within yourself in a certain way. So you need to be very cautious if you are eating certain foods that maybe have chemicals or hormones pesticides, herbicides. Because if you're destroying your body with chemicals, you're not going to be able to reach the peak of enlightenment that you're looking for. You're not going to be able to come in tune with the universe. It's almost like you have a piece of glass and you're just you're pouring oil on it and making it all blurry. It's going to create a fog over your life where you're not going to be able to see the bigger picture. You're not going to be able to see, well, the energies that are surrounding you, the energies that are all around every single one of us at every single moment of the day. And so you need this clarity within your body so that you can have clarity within your mind. Otherwise, the mind will start to play tricks on you. It's exactly like the exercise we did before, where if you're hunched over, maybe you start speaking softly, and maybe you are nervous and your cadence changes because you're crushing your diaphragm. You can't get as much breath, or you can't get as much oxygen in. Versus if you open up, you sit back, you speak confidently, you're speaking with your body as opposed to just like your head kind of. It's weird. That's a whole different thing. The energies that will be created around you, you'll be able to see the world in a more clearer light. You'll be able to plan more. You'll be able to execute more on your vision. And so there are practical ways, again, that you can get your body into alignment. There's foods that you can eat that are super powerful. Personally, I do recommend you try to focus on fruits, vegetables, potatoes. But I think that's something that we're going to kind of keep off the table. There's a reason for that. I don't think this is the right time or forum in order for us to discuss what the proper diet is. So we're going to keep that to the side for now. But there are habits that you can cultivate, and there are ways that you can view it such that you are purifying your body, you're purifying your mind, and you are coming into this heightened state of awareness. You start to come into this heightened state of awareness. And something that you also need to factor into this is time. I recently had a podcast about time, but you have to realize that this is something that you're going to have to be patient with. You're going to have to be patient with this. Because the matter of fact is that your body, and here's science for you, it takes 7 years for every cell or DNA in your body to change over. So you still have energies within your body that you ate from 7 years ago. You still have that food or DNA. It takes 7 years for your DNA, for every cell in your body to completely change over. So this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. You have to be calm. You have to be patient. You have to enjoy the process. Because if you're looking for a quick fix, it's not going to work. It just won't work. Because this is a process that takes a very long time. It takes 7 years. So I definitely encourage you that when you start your journey, you need to realize that it didn't happen overnight to get where you are now. Wherever you are, wherever you consider yourself to be, it didn't happen overnight. So take your time with it. Realize that patience is the key, and keep experimenting. I know that people will just sit in a way and not experiment with other stuff. If it's working, don't fix it. I'll tell you right now, if it's working, don't fix it. If it's not broken, what is it? If it's not broken, don't fix it. That's the saying. So keep going. But if you feel that you could try other stuff, see how your body feels with it. Become in tune with your body. Your body is very, very intelligent. And so it'll tell you what it needs, what it wants, what it desires. So listen to it. Don't reject it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. So I think that's all that I'm going to put into this IG Live. If you want to hear a little bit more, we'll go into a deeper spiritual conversation in the podcast. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone checking into the IG Live. If you want to catch the podcast, the rest of it will be out tomorrow at 11 a.m., which is Thursday, April 31st. Oh, no, May 1st. Oh, wow. Jeez. Talk about time flying. Okay. So with all that being said, I appreciate you guys for joining the live, and I will talk to you guys in the podcast. All right, what is up, conscious monkeys? What is up? So. What is it that we're going to talk about here that I wanted to keep it private for you guys, my special conscious monkeys who are listening to me. Well, the food and nutrition. So this is a trigger warning. I do want to put a trigger warning out there because this is something that may or may not trigger you. And this is something that I want you to be cautious of, because you have to realize that this is something that will propel you up into the next dimension, but you've also probably been making this mistake for a while. And once you hear this, there's no going back. And I'm just going to leave that there. This is something you can agree with me on. You can disagree with me on. The choice is 100% yours, and I value your choice, whatever you make with it. But the truth is the truth, and so you got to put it out there. Maybe you'll think I'm crazy for this, but well, get in line. You're not going to be the first person. So here's the deal. Here's the rub. Here's the knowledge that has been kept for us that you need to realize. So quantums, right? Whenever, gosh, how do you start this? How do you even start this? So like I was saying, your DNA changes over. Your body changes over. The DNA changes itself every 7 years. So what do we do with that? What is the point of that? So you put food into your body, right? And there's a quantum that lives within that food. The atoms of that food exist. They're alive. You put it into your body and it creates your body. It creates the universe within your body. Okay? It creates a quantum within your body. That's your DNA at a cell level. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they show a picture of like the way the human brain works with like all the neural connectivity. And then they show a tree and how you can see like the leaves on the tree are the same exact that you see within the neural connection in your brain, which is the same way that the stars are kind of aligned. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's very powerful. And it highlights exactly that inside your body is an entire universe. An entire universe. And where this comes back to your body, I mean, that was it, right? Your body's an entire universe. So where this relates back to your body is the food you're putting into it is cultivating a universe within inside yourself. So if you're eating plants, you're eating organic things, you're going to become more in tune with nature. If you're eating fruits and vegetables and potatoes and bread and grains and nuts, things that are created purely by nature, you're going to enter that, you will create that quantum within inside your body. Now, where this gets tricky and this is where the trigger warning comes in, is that if you are eating flesh, burnt flesh, you will create that quantum within inside your body. If you're eating burnt muscle, tissue, you will create that quantum within inside your body. And what this means is that whenever you die, your soul will enter the quantum that you've created in your body. Therefore, you will enter a torture dimension, a burning dimension. Have you ever seen in the text when they talk about how whenever you die, you might go to hell? And it's fire, and it's awful, and it's terrible. If you've been ingesting those quantums, those energies, you will enter that dimension. I honestly don't know if I should even be talking about this on the podcast. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of pushback. Don't believe me. Honestly, don't believe anything I say. I'm not an expert. This is all just a joke. Don't take me seriously. But, you know, is it worth the risk? And look, this is no judgment whatsoever. Do it, live your life how you want to live it. But if you're inviting those energies into your body, you create the burning, you create that lower frequency inside your body. When you die, your energies will go into it. Your soul will experience it. This comes back to karma. This is why we need to essentially get to a place where we're eating, I guess it's kind of vegan. You can eat dairy if you want to, but make sure it's not raw, because another side note, and I know this will get a lot of pushback too, because I used to, look, hey, listen, you're speaking to someone who used to go on the carnivore diet. and used to only drink like raw milk. Like that was me for years. So I get it. I understand you can see the physical benefits. At least it can appear that way. But you will be inviting in stress energies into your body as well. And maybe this is where I should have let off. And this is really what I tell people whenever I explain why. But animals are going through tremendous amount of stress on this planet. The way that they are harvested and killed and slaughtered, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. You can look up a slaughterhouse if you don't believe me. It's brutal. And when they die, those energies go into their muscles. When they're killed, those energies go into their muscles. The stress, the fear. And then it comes plated just for you. You burn it. You enter that burning dimension whenever you eat it. So if you want to eliminate stress, the easiest way is to essentially go vegan. You can also do dairy, which I'll kind of do dairy every now and then. But that is essentially... How did this become a nutrition podcast? We were talking about our bodies in alignment. What am I doing? Clayton, what are you doing? Do I delete this? No, we're putting it out there. If I'm saying it, it means there's someone out there that wants to hear this. Now, look, this is no judgment. Do whatever you want to do. If you still want to eat meat, I have no hard feelings against you. None at all. I welcome it. I think that vegans themselves need to be more appreciative and open to, not appreciative, but like, you need to at least be open. We shouldn't be casting judgment on people who eat meat. I think it's fine. Do whatever you want to do. There's no way to scientifically prove what I'm saying anyhow. But like I was saying earlier in this podcast, whenever you start to come in alignment, for example, I've been doing this for about 1.5 years now. And the more that I've been doing it, the more I've been coming in alignment, the more I've been able to see the energies, the less stress that I've endured. And I can tell you right now that based on that, I can see how that is the truth, how that is the reality, how that is what your soul will experience after you die if you choose to go that path. And again, the choice is yours. 100% that the choice is yours. No judgment either way. Do what you want to do. But if I had to give a suggestion, I would say try to go vegan if you can. Dairy is okay if it is not raw milk. It needs to be pasteurized or something because those stress quantums will still exist within the raw milk. So, hey, do whatever you want to do. If you've got problems with it, you can shoot me a DM. I probably won't respond to it because, again, I don't know how to back this up scientifically. Call it intuition, call it personal experience. I don't know. But if you really, really have a problem with it, then let's have a talk about it whenever we see each other in the 6th dimension.